Good afternoon, good afternoon. So as you know, I talk a lot on MK Ultra. And I came across an article the other day that I thought I would read. It's called CIA's Project MK Ultra. It's kind of basic, but it's a good refresher. So I wanted to go over that together. After the Cold War, the CIA, also known as the Central Intelligence Agency, began intervening through the lives of people by finding ways in which they could control the human mind. They set out a team to investigate and experiment on people around the United States and Canada. They heavily funded psychiatrists who were asked to examine people after giving them psychedelic drugs and other medicines that had a major impact on the human mind. This program begun to be known as MK Ultra. Many people were given Kool-Aid, which was basically mixed with LSD. It all arose when, after the Korean War, the Americans thought that because multiple people supported the Communist Manifesto, it was because of some brain alteration executed by them. They called it communist mind control techniques. A lot of people were given drugs without their consent and awareness. This meant that they did multiple things which were against the code of conduct. For example, one narrator explains it as when prostitutes would lure men into houses where those men were given LSD without their permission. They also introduced the idea of acid tests, where parties were held with LSD-induced music. These parties are one of the pioneers in the invention of the hippie and psychedelic music in the later centuries. This was a harsh period in history of the MK Ultra projects where a Scottish doctor named Ewan Cameron ignored the traces of multiple cases of depression in his patients and just gave them a high dose of drugs, including LSD. Many people were lured into visiting Dr. Ewan. As one victim narrates, says that her father went to him because he was told that Dr. Cameron could treat asthma. He experimented with the concept of depatterning, in which the patient just went numb and doctors were able to take full advantage of the condition. They used the concept of Paige Russell's electroshock therapy, which is an inhumane practice where 40 to 80 shocks are given to the patient, which basically leads to memory loss. These experiments have had such drastic effects on the lives of people that when they had left the hospital, they were so traumatized by the entire process that they never saw the world from the same lens ever again. Surprisingly, the people never paid for it. They had to go through immense trauma, and the CIA took no or minor responsibility, and they accepted that it just wasn't the wisest thing to do. However, no proper care was done for the victims who had to bear the trauma of being associated with the program for such a long time. The CIA basically broke all moral and ethical laws. The people received no compensation or apology. People are usually afraid of the CIA as it has much more power and authority in the USA. Moreover, the issue remains so taboo so that no other department may have the ability to do the same as this institution. They clearly abused their powers and played with the lives of innocent people who basically had no role to play in this investigation. Thus, the CIA thought that it was wise to tone down the impact and remain as is. Furthermore, this abuse of power was more of an attempt to change the power dynamic from communist to capital society.